It is time to do our first expansion rebuild here in NBA 2K26, and the team that I usually do to start things off with, the Seattle Supersonics. So we are adding the Seattle Supersonics to the northwest. That's the team we're going to be taking control with today. I'm going to be moving the OKC Thunder to the southwest. Just makes a lot more sense. And I'm adding the Tampa Bay Sharks. We're going to add another team to Florida. They're going to have 3 in total now. I'm going to add them instead of adding a team from Vegas. And I'm going to have it where teams can protect up to 12 players. So we're going to do that. We're going to take control of the Supersonics. We'll see if we get the first pick in the expansion draft, or is that going to go to Tampa Bay? And I'm just curious to see like who is not kept. Watch somebody like, I don't know, Cason Wallace not get kept. Watch somebody pretty good not get kept, but we'll see. Well, Isaiah Hartenstein wasn't kept. I don't know. I think I would have kept Hartenstein, but I guess I don't know. Maybe, I mean, they just have a lot of good players on the Thunder, so I get that for sure. Like Dame was kept. Yeah, like I don't want Jeremy Grant or anybody like that. Draymond wasn't kept. I kind of see the vision there just because of the contract. So let's just hop right into this. Let's see who the Sharks take with 1-1. And Jalen Duren wasn't kept. Shout out 2K for that one. I don't think I want to like abuse the expansion draft. I do think it would be realistic for like Emmanuel Quickley to be here just because of the large contract. Jordan Poole is here as well. And Anthony Simons wasn't kept because Boston wants to get off that money. You know what? I'm going to take Anthony Simons over somebody like Emmanuel Quickley. And he could be my point guard for the future. So I could double it up and get Isaiah Hartenstein in this draft. I could try to fix Wendell Carter Jr., who doesn't have the greatest contract right now. And I'm not going to say we're going to be a big free agency hotspot right away. So you know what? Let me snag Wendell Carter Jr. in the expansion draft. That is a hefty contract. Jordan Poole and John Collins go next. Max Christie wasn't kept as well, which I could see that just because the Mavericks have a very deep team right now. So we're going to select him. Bryce Sensabaugh wasn't kept. Yeah, that is an easy pick for me. I mean, the Jazz do have a ton of talent on their team right now, especially like young talent. I'm going to try to snag Nikola Jovic as well from the Miami Heat. I'm also going to invest into the center position. Let's take Luke Kornet, who is going to be making a pretty penny going forward. There goes Vucevic as well, and Colin Sexton. Like the Tampa Bay Sharks will actually be pretty good going forward. I'm going to take Scottie Pippen Jr. in this draft as well. I'm going to take Julian Strawther from the Denver Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. wasn't kept by the Nets, so I guess they get off of that $40 million contract. I'm going to take Mohamed Gay here from the Atlanta Hawks. I could still take Hardenstein if I wanted to, who essentially has 1 year left and the team option. I mean, did I draft? Like, if I look here, I drafted Kornet. Who was the other big man I drafted? Wendell Carter Jr. So I don't really need like an Isaiah Hartenstein right now, honestly. We could look at another wing. Can't hurt. Max Strus, Corey Kispert, but he has a fairly expensive deal. I like Jalen Clark potentially, so let's snag him from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then Fred VanVleet and Isaiah Hartenstein go. Like, they could end up with Draymond as well. They're going to be an expensive and solid team next year in Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Ben Shepherd with my next pick, and then I would like to take a flyer on Tyler Kolek from the New York Knicks. I do have a couple more picks. McCollum and Granko. Oh my God, they're going to be so expensive. I could end up with Isaac Jones from the Sacramento Kings. I'm a fan of Isaac Jones. Let's try to get a third string center. Let's snag Oso Ighodaro from the Phoenix Suns. And the last pick of the draft is going to be Buddy Hield to the Sharks. So let's start off this 2026 season. And LeBron is going to be retiring at the end of the year. So if I were to look at the breakdown for us, like right now we do have a ton of cap space, but I do think Anthony Simons will be back long term. I guess I could have still ended up drafting Emmanuel Quickley. So if we look at the Tampa Bay team, like how expensive are they? So the Tampa Bay Sharks, oh my God, negative $216 million. Now McCollum, Hartenstein, Collins, like even VanVleet, oh my God, this is so expensive. They have a luxury tax bill of $183 million right now. That is actually wild. So they're going to have some work cut out for them to kind of get out of that. We're going to have Anthony Simons start at the 1, Shepherd at the 2. I definitely want Sensabaugh starting. I would like to actually start like Max Christie over Shepherd. So let's do Sensabaugh at the 2, Christie at the 3, Jovic at the 4, Carter Jr. at the 5. I still want to play Julian Strawther a decent amount. And then if I was going to look at the tendencies for this team, so let's see. I probably want Anthony Simons to be like the main shooter on the squad. I don't know why. Can I not increase it from here? Yeah. So let's make him like a 93 shot tendency. That's fine with me. We can even up Wendell Carter's. Let's up Luke Kornet's a little bit. Let's definitely up Max Christie's and Bryce Sensabaugh because I want these guys shooting a ton. Shepherd and Jovic, Strawther as well. We can up a little bit. Mohamed Gay, we can up a little bit as well. So we'll see how this team looks. We start off the season against a couple Western Conference teams, and we are going to beat the Rockets, but we got blown out on opening night at home to the LA Clippers. Wendell Carter Jr. knocked down 7 free throws in this game. Okay, and Kawhi Leonard had 44 points. We lost to the Rockets by 4. Jovic had 16. Kind of a well-rounded game there in game number 2. And there goes Julian Strawther for 1 to 2 months. He unfortunately broke his right ankle. All right, so we are 21-30 here at the trade deadline, which isn't a bad record. It's not like we're the worst team in the NBA. We're pretty much at the bottom of the Western Conference, though, with the Lakers with the same record. I'm not sure who they got stolen from them. I don't think we drafted a Laker. Maybe Hashimura got drafted by the Tampa Bay team. Memphis is somehow 16-35. They are terrible. And Utah is 15-38. They are really bad as well. And then the Tampa Bay Sharks over in the Eastern Conference are 40-11 with an 11.5 point differential. They have Emmanuel Quickley and Jordan Poole in that backcourt. Wow, they've both been pretty efficient this year. Paul George at the 3, Collins at the 4, Vucevic at the 5. I don't know what defense they're getting out of that lineup, but it's working for them. So Anthony Simons has been our leading scorer, and I feel like he's somebody that we can try to lock down on a long-term extension in the offseason. Bryce Sensabaugh shooting 37% from 3. I will take that. Scottie Pippen Jr. has shown some flashes this year. I need Wendell Carter Jr. to be a better three-point shooter, because if you could see what he did in 23 and 24, there's tremendous value, because he's also a solid perimeter defender at the big man position. Nikola Jovic has shown some flashes this year. Kolik's played like he's had a cup of coffee this year as well. So I think we're not contending this year. I don't really expect to even make like the play-in tournament. Now, if there's anybody that's a free agent that I could look to move, I'm not going to move Simons. Jovic would be that guy that could have some trade value, but he's 22 years old. I don't really think I want to give up on him right now. Or Jalen Clark, who's been good. So I could honestly could I extend these guys? Let's extend Anthony Simons. I'll give him somewhat of like a realistic extension. He's not going to make as much as he's making right now, but let's do a 4-year deal worth $80 million. That's about $8 million more than what 2K had. And I think 2K's been too low with some of these extensions so far. But maybe Anthony Simons on his next deal after Boston this year is somebody that is like an MLE guy. He's somebody that makes around $15 million a year, something like what Nickeil Alexander-Walker got in free agency. Cooper Flagg at the head of the Rookie of the Year race, Jokic MVP race. Cam Thomas got traded to, or probably signed with Chicago, 6th man of the year. Wemby Depoy, we may end up getting the most improved player, hopefully. At least that could be something to come out of this season. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be making any trades this year at the deadline. Dorian Finney-Smith was traded for Grayson Allen. I actually kind of like that trade for both teams. You have Brandon Clark and KCP for Rozier and Fontecchio, Max Strus for Mitchell Robinson, and Dalton Connect for Isaiah Stewart. And Evan Mobley ended up winning NBA Cup MVP. That's usually earlier in the year, so I'm not sure why we got that here in March. Now, we've been on a slide in the second half, and I feel like much hasn't really changed because I didn't make any trades. We are currently 23-46. We have the second worst record here in the Western Conference. If we take a look at the East, Tampa Bay won 50 games this year, but clearly we had two different drafting philosophies during the expansion draft, where they have the largest tax bill in the NBA right now, which is crazy. So I'm glad they have a very good record, and 50 wins in your first year as a franchise. It's pretty good. So Shea actually wins MVP over Nikola Jokic. He topped last year's career high, 33.8 points, 57, 41, 89 splits. An incredible scoring season from Shea. Flagg Rookie of the Year. Anthony Simons, what? 6th man of the year? Did they bench him throughout the year? Wait, what? I had him as a starter. I mean, I'm fine with him getting that. He needs to be a full-time starter next year. I don't care. Scottie Pippen ended up winning Most Improved. There's a better chance I'd trade Scottie Pippen Jr. this offseason than like Anthony Simons. He needs to be a full-time starter for us going forward. You have Steph at 38, Giannis, Wemby, Jokic, and Shea on All-NBA first team. I'm just noticing this. You can see like next to Shea's photo, you have height, weight. Do we really need to know the wingspan? I don't know. I guess there's nothing really else they could put in there. Maybe they didn't need to put 4 things. I don't know. But LeBron at 41 ended up making All-NBA second team. Damn, Ant broke his left leg for he'd be out for 2 to 4 weeks. He is there on All-NBA third team. Here's All Defensive first team with an injured Amen Thompson. All Defensive second team with Nick Claxton and Draymond Green. And then here are the All Rookie teams. Danny Wolf makes it. No second rounders made it. The closest would, I guess, be... I don't even know. Probably Danny Wolf. Yeah. So we didn't make the play-in we didn't make the play-in tournament, nor did we make the playoffs. 28-54 we went in the inaugural Seattle season, as Tampa Bay ended up going 57-25. So we'll see if it works out for them. They're a 3 seed taking on 6-seeded Indiana. I think going forward, like next year, guys that I want definitely Simons. Sensabaugh, who's going into year number 4, which will be a big year for him. Not going to say Pippen will be here. I don't think anybody's going to want to trade for Wendell Carter Jr., given how bad of a shooter he was. We'll see if Jovic is back. Definitely Christie and Cornette will be back. Cornette was a really good backup center. There isn't even a chance he could be the starting center next year, for all I know. Christie was solid. I definitely want Strother to play more next year. I feel like the coach now didn't really want to play him. Is it still Milan Mack as your head coach? It is. So we'll keep an eye on Tampa Bay. We'll see if they can make a run. Quickly, Poole, George, Collins, Vucevic. They have Jalen Duren as well. And they are going to beat Indiana in 6 in round number 1. So they're taking on Milwaukee in round number 2. Can they make it to the conference finals? Yes, they can. They end up winning in 5. They're taking on Cleveland here. Let's take a look here at their playoff stats for the Tampa Bay Sharks. So their leading scorer here in the playoffs has been Michael. They picked up Michael Porter Jr. Did they trade for him? No, they drafted him. Yeah, this team is like, it's not like stacked, but it's like so incredibly deep. They drafted basically everybody good in the expansion draft because I didn't want any of these bad contracts. And they're in the NBA Finals in year number 1. Maybe I should have did what they did. Paul George got Conference Finals MVP. They're going up against Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They actually won Game 1 by 11. Quickly at 23. Game 2 goes to Seattle. Game 3, Minnesota. 4 goes, not Seattle, sorry, Tampa Bay. And they actually won the NBA Finals in year number 1. So their draft strategy worked out. Emmanuel Quickly, who I thought about taking 1-1 in the draft, gets Finals MVP. All right, I'm a little jealous. I definitely am. They won a title in year number 1, and we're probably like 4 years away at least, or 3 years away from winning a title. They want us to stay out of the red, which I don't get because, I mean, like, we don't really have, we have so much money in cap space. We actually have to go down some improvements. That's pretty brutal going forward. So, yeah, I guess I have a cheap owner here in Seattle. Kind of maybe what it's been in the past. Like, the OKC owners objectively has been cheap, at least spending in the tax. So, we'll see how our new owner here in Seattle is going to be. So, we see some notable retirements. Joe Prunty ends up retiring. LeBron, Paul, and Russ head to the Hall of Fame. A plethora of jersey retirements here, including Derrick Rose to the Bulls. So, draft lottery gods, please be kind to me. Could we add a Cameron Boozer? Could we add an AJ DeBanza, Darren Peterson to this team? Let's see. I don't think in my Warriors or Lakers rebuilds I've really cared about the lottery yet. So, this is my first time where it could make or break me. And we end up dropping to 7. Oh my god. All right, we're starting off 2K on the wrong note. We're starting off 2K26 on lucky. Wizards get 1. Rockets get 2. That should not go to Houston. Suns get 3. That should not go to Phoenix. Blazers 4. Hornets 5. Jazz 6. So the Tampa Bay Sharks have 29, but they also have an NBA title as well. I'm probably going to fire Milan Mack. I would like to hire like a real head coach. I mean, I'll offer a deal to Nick Nurse. I don't think he's going to choose us. I will offer a deal to Will Hardy. He got let go or maybe not brought back yet. JB Bickerstaff is here as well. Let's offer him a deal. I just want to get like a real head coach to come to Seattle. Jordi Fernandez got fired from the Brooklyn Nets just after 2 years. So we'll see how we look. Do we get... All right, we got all 4 of them. I could sign Hardy, Bickerstaff, Fernandez, or Nurse. I'm going to sign the best one there who's won an NBA title in Nick Nurse. All right, so going into the draft, I don't need like a point guard, I would say. Power forward, center could definitely be an option. I mean, the mocks are looking us to take C-Dub from UNC. You have Kareem Lopez. You have Chris Nack. Cameron Boozer probably won't fall that low. Shout out Joe DeKelmer. We're getting towards like more realistic prospects. We have Bennett Sturts, Thomas Avavicic, Shaden Quaintance. You have Dash Daniels, Kobe Pete, or Koa Pete, not Kobe Pete. Nate Ament. A lot of these are actually spelled right. Maybe that's kind of fixed this year. I don't know. I mean, Darren Peterson is still technically spelled wrong. So I think I'm going to make a trade on draft night. I don't think I'm going to go into next year's season with... Well, can I even move Ben Shepherd? No, right? That's why I don't like the contract thing is weird here. I guess you could look in the top right. So Pippen Jr. after team player options, I'll probably trade him. Like, I don't think I'm going to move Cornette. Not going to move Chris or Carter Jr. Christie, no. All right, let's just actually start this draft, and I'll probably trade Scottie Pippen Jr. after the draft. So the Wizards are number 1. They get Darren Peterson. They get a franchise-altering talent. Same with AJ DeBanza to the Rockets there at number 2. Suns at number 3 are going to get Cam Boozer. Mikael Brown goes number 4 to the Blazers, so they go point guard. It said he led the nation in assists with 13.8 a night. I find that hard to believe. Chris Nack goes 5, and then Dash Daniels goes 6. So we're on the clock here at 7, where I could look at Elijah Arenas. But yeah, he's got a torn left MCL. 14 to 16 months. I don't know if I want to do that. I also think it would be cool because I know Elijah does have an injury in real life with USC, so I don't know if that's retroactive to just his freshman year, even though this would be a year removed from that. It would be cool if 2K just made like random draft prospects that you drafted, like have severe medicals, right? Or it's just like a random injury that they may miss all of their rookie season with a foot injury or a torn ACL, and that could linger, and that could also drop them in the draft. Something we've seen in recent years, like Bryce Sensabaugh, he fell in the 2023 draft because of the medicals. So that's always something that's prevalent in the NBA. I could look at C-Dub here. I could look at Dame Sarr, Jasper Johnson. Is Nate Ament here? I see Kareem Lopez is here. Nate Ament is ranked pretty low. But I think I'm going to take Nate Ament, playing under Rick Barnes, who just got a lifetime contract at Tennessee. We kind of need that power forward. I don't think Nikola Jovic is going to be the power forward that we're competing for a title with. So we're going to take Ament there. Ivisic plays up his draft stock at Illinois. He goes to Boston. C-Dub to the Thunder. And the Pistons at 10 take this guy. And in the second round, we took Mitchell Sims. He's a 6'11 center out of UC San Diego. We're going to pick up the team options on probably not Ben Shepherd, just because it's $5 million. Actually, maybe I will. Let's just pick it up on everybody here. Now, before free agency, I'm going to probably look to trade away Scottie Pippen Jr. I want to offer the qualifying offers to all those guys. All right, I'm going to be trading away Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ben Shepherd to the Philadelphia 76ers for a 2029 swap best between the Clippers and the 76ers. So going here into free agency, I could look at a backup point guard. I'm fine at the 2, could look for another 3, and then we'll probably bring back Nikola Jovic as well. So how much does Jovic want? Not that much. We'll give him a 2-year deal. We'll do a 3-year deal with the team option on the last year, roughly $24 million. If we look at the top point guards on the market, I don't mind bringing in a veteran. There's Lonzo Ball. I think I'd bring in Keon Ellis on a 2-year deal. It could be fully guaranteed for Keon as well. So let's sign Jovic. Let's sign Keon. I'd like to get back Clark and Jones on the qualifying offers. I could make a play for Benedict Mathurin. I think I want to see like the Sensabaugh, like Christie or Strother perimeter duo. So let's just sign like one more small forward. I could sign like Hayward Highsmith to a minimum. And then let's sign, I guess, one other small forward. We could do Caleb Houston, who I kind of like, on a 2-year deal. But we'll do a team option. So we should sign those guys. We get Highsmith, we get Houston, and I should get Clark and Jones back on the qualifying offers. KD stays in Houston. Nice to see. I've seen him sign with the Clippers both times so far. Harden goes back to the Clippers. Nice to see. I've seen him sign usually with like Chicago. Trae Young stays in Atlanta. First time I've seen that. They also signed Dyson. Kristaps Porzingis leaves Atlanta, though, to go to Utah. The Sharks re-signed Duren, and they re-signed John Collins. They just won a title. They want to bring it back. But Vucevic leaves to the Thunder. Hardenstein leaves for the Lakers. Bradley Beal leaves the Clippers for the Spurs. And he was pretty good. Yeah, for $5.5 million, he was great last year for the Clippers. Colin Sexton leaves the Sharks for the Celtics. McCollum leaves the Sharks for the Clippers. So they lose a lot of guys, like Rui leaves the Sharks for the Nets. And we should be getting Jones and Clark back on the qualifying offer. So Anthony Simons, 82 overall. Carter Jr. doesn't go up. Sensabaugh goes up. Christie goes up. I think I'm going to start Nate Ament over Nikola Jovic. Damn, and in the Summer League, Oso Ighodaro tears his right ACL. He's out 12 to 14 months. And I do need to release 2 players before the season starts. One will be Hayward Highsmith. The other one, it actually may end up being Oso Ighodaro, which is pretty unfortunate. Well, actually, it won't allow me to release somebody that's injured. I don't think I want to do Mitchell Sims. I'll probably end up doing Isaac Jones since I did draft a power forward by the name of Nate Ament. So let's go here into the 2027 season. I'm excited to see what this roster is going to perform with. We should be better. I mean, there's a chance we're not better, but we should be better. Keon Ellis is, like, why are we benching Anthony Simons CPU? I don't get that. I want Strother at the 2, Sensabaugh at the 3. Simons is getting 35 a night. I want to start Nate Ament. He'll get 28 a night. We'll go 24 to Wendell Carter Jr. because I'm going to go roughly 24 a night to Luke Kornet. We have Jovic coming off the bench. We're going to have Keon Ellis come off the bench. And then the last 15 minutes, like, we could go to Jalen Clark. I don't mind seeing him 15 minutes a night. We'll go with 10-man rotation right now. System proficiency. We'll go to balanced under Nick Nurse, which is going to be 3.5 stars. Let's see how we look to start off the season against the reigning champions, our fellow expansion buddy in the Tampa Bay Sharks. And we get off to a great first quarter. We are currently up by 6, though, because they have a good third quarter. And it doesn't look great here. Up by 1, up by 4, up by 3. Let's see if we can win opening night. We're tied 114 apiece. All right, but like Anthony Simons out here defensively, not going to be great. He's got 24 in this one. Sensabaugh trying to guard Jeremy Grant. Jovic, you got to have to kick out there, right? For Michael Porter Jr., who's a good 3-point shooter. Let's see if Sensabaugh can stay in front of Grant who's got the size advantage. John Collins for 3. Wendell, get out there, dude. What are you doing? I don't really get the defensive alignments there. Maybe that's a Nick Nurse thing. Let's see what Anthony Simons can do with Luke Cornett. Send screens. Simons inside. That is going to be good with the layup, even though I didn't time that all that well. Back to a 1-point game. They also have Fred VanVleet as well. Like, this is a deep roster for sure. Grant guarded by Sensabaugh. Oh, I'm screwed. Yep, he's going to get that to go. They're back up by 3. Let's see if we can get Sensabaugh off some screens here. We can. Sensabaugh for 3. Bang! Tie game. Bryce Sensabaugh knocks down a massive 3 to make this a 119 game across the board. 30 seconds to go. We will get the final shot if we can at least get a rebound if they were to miss this. I hate the Sensabaugh. Okay, I'm going to have to help. All right, Carter Jr., we're fine. Duren can't shoot, so I need Cornett in drop coverage here. Just in case to be a help defender. VanVleet gets a wild 3, no good. 11 seconds left. Can Simons win it for the Seattle Supersonics? Can he get to the rim? Anthony Simons is going to get to the free throw line. Fouled by Michael Porter Jr. with 5 seconds to go. Anthony just make one. Bang, he knocks down the first free throw. They don't have any timeouts, so he's going to go 2 for 2 at the line. He's got 28 points, 4 seconds left. I mean, they're probably going to take like a half-court shot, right? They should pass it up. Bang. We're going to win opening night. We upset the reigning NBA champion Tampa Bay Sharks. Good defense there at the end. Fred VanVleet took a wild 3. Anthony Simons hit a clutch layup. He had a clutch pass to Bryce Sensabaugh. Clutch free throws. He's our best player right now, 100%. All right, so let's see. This is going to be the start of something nice this season. And there goes Bryce Sensabaugh for 1 to 2 weeks, so maybe not. And we ended up losing by 6 to the Sacramento Kings. Domantas Sabonis had a monster triple-double against us. Anthony Simons had 27. Can we beat the Warriors? No. Oh my God, we got destroyed against them. And then we gave up 164 points to Utah. Damn, Isaiah Collier went off against us. They don't have Walker. Oh, no, they do have Walker Kessler. I'm like, that's somebody I need. I need, like, a good rim protector. Anthony Simons is off to a great offensive start. Like, I think Luke Cornett might be better than Wendell Carter Jr. for us going forward. Simons at 29 here in the loss to the Suns. Maybe he's an empty stats guy. I don't know. So we are down. I don't know. We lost to the Pelicans, but then we have some nice wins in a row where we are going to get Sensabaugh back. Caleb Houston did not make his increase in playing time worth it. And there goes our top 10 pick, Nate Ament, for 6 to 8 weeks. Broke a bone. That is very unfortunate. So we are 3-7 to start off the year after that. So we've had some ups and downs to start off the year. We're learning that Anthony Simons is him now. All right, so Julian Strawther just got hurt. This year has not been fun for us. We're currently at, we're 20-ish games under 500. I'll show you guys really quickly. So I'm going to just throw Caleb Houston in there for now. We are 17 games under 500, actually. 14-31. And we were, what, the second worst team in the West last year. Right now, we're technically the worst team in the West. We have a negative 11.5 point differential. We are giving up almost 130 points per game. That is insane. So I also think for the second half, Wendell Carter Jr., if you're not even going to shoot the ball well, you don't really have a lot of value to me. So we're going to play Luke Cornett 30 minutes a night. He's going to be my starting center. I want Bryce Sensabaugh to play a little bit more as well. Our top scorer, to no surprise, has been Anthony Simons, averaging 26.5 points. Don't know how they didn't want to make him a starter last year. Bryce Sensabaugh has been really good. He's definitely going to earn an extension for me. And Max Christie's breaking out as well. I do feel like that is some type of foundation going forward. We can actually give Christie an extension. Let's just get on top of it, right? He could be a free agent, not this summer. I believe the next summer. Actually, he could have been. He's got a player option. So, yeah, we get that out of the way. We don't have to worry about that going forward. I also just want to take a look here at Wendell Carter Jr.'s, shot tendency. Is he just taking, is it a 99 3 shots? It's out of 44, which is so sad because, he should be a good three-point shooter. He should be a lot better than what he's performing with right now. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be a seller at the deadline. I don't know who I'm going to sell. Maybe I trade away a Keon Ellis. Maybe, nobody's taking Wendell Carter Jr. from me right now. So, yeah, I don't want to trade Strawther. I don't want to trade Christie right now. Obviously, I'm not going to move Anthony Simons, even though he would have the most value possible. Nate Ament, struggling, but he's been injured multiple times this year. Nikola Jovic has been good, but he's 23 years old. I feel like I should be in a rush to trade him. I actually like Keon Ellis as a backup guard. You know what? I actually don't think I'm going to make any trades right now, which is something probably a seller shouldn't do. We'll see if we're going to get a top pick in the draft. It does look like Johnny R. Bird, a power forward out of Oklahoma State, maybe the first #1 overall pick since Cade Cunningham, looks like the best guy here. Drew O'Brien's a power forward. Anthony Trent's a power forward. Yeah, it's a power forward heavy top of the draft right now. And the NBA Cup MVP this year, Kyrie Irving. Oh my God. I really thought that we could have been a fringe play-in, maybe go 38. in what, 50 this year? Excuse me, 38 and 44. I can't do math, but no, we are going to struggle to win 20 games this year. All right, we're going to probably finish 16th in the West. Not ideal. I'm surprised we got that much worse with Scottie Pippen Jr. holding this team afloat. Yeah, win the finals. That was a test this year. Why? Why was that a test for this team? I don't know. Luka Doncic won MVP. Darren Peterson, Rookie of the Year. Mikael Brown, Sixth Man of the Year. Pretty good numbers, probably behind Scoot, Wemby, Depoy, or Dame. Jaime Jaquez, Most Improved. KD, Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. No shockers on All-NBA First Team or Second Team, which has all Eastern Conference players. Third Team, you have Ja, Bam, Zion, Giddey, and Cooper Flag. Giddey is in Philadelphia. Here's All Defensive First Team. All Defensive Second Team. I thut that was Jovic for a second. I was about to say no way. And we do get Nate Ament on All Rookie Second Team. So yeah, we are not going to be in the play-in tournament. We ended up going 19-63. Tampa Bay, though, in the East, ended up going 44-38 off their finals victory. Still a very expensive team. I don't know how they haven't, like, tried to shed money. I wish, like, the aprons were a thing in 2K, but they didn't incorporate that, of course. So, they have Kobe Brown, all Chomsky on minimums. They're still paying a ton of money. Yeah, like, they're going to have a lot more cap space next year. So, that could actually be a player somewhat in free agency. The problem is, like, I like almost everybody on my team in the rotation outside of, like, Wendell Carter Jr. going forward, who was more efficient in the second half, but still not good. He's got, geez, like, 2 more years left on the deal. Nate Ament, I still like going forward, even though he had a down rookie season. Hopefully, I could be a little bit more aggressive this offseason. We have another season under our belt now, 2 years in franchise history. We're going to see the Minnesota Timberwolves and Pacers be in the NBA Finals. Halliburton versus Ant. Tampa Bay ended up losing in Game 7 to Indiana. Emmanuel quickly had 27 here. And Minnesota is going to win in 5. Anthony Edwards takes home Finals MVP. So All-NBA First Team this year, Finals MVP. Dude's a superstar. I just wonder if I'm going to get, like, fired. I haven't really gotten close to that yet, but, yeah, I have to now bring down our sports medicine facility. No, bring down the luxury boxes. I could care less about that right now. KD, Harden, Curry retire, Middleton retires, Damian Lillard retires as well. Okay, those are some notable names. Loaded Hall of Fame class with those 4. Some of the best shooters in NBA history. Probably the 4 best shooters of this generation, up there with Klay Thompson as well. Dame gets his jersey retired by Portland. Harden by Houston, Steph by Golden State, and KD actually got it retired by the Thunder. And let's see what happens. The Rockets could end up getting number 1. Last year, I think we dropped from 6 to 7. Oh my god, this year we dropped from 2 to 6. Screw you, 2K, and the Rockets, who were projected to... No, the Rockets dropped to 5. Pistons go to 1. Warriors 2. Kings 3. Celtics 4. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. That is absolutely brutal. The season we just had to get the 6th overall pick. Thanks a lot, 2K. So let's see right now who we're projected to select in this draft. Pat McGee, a small forward out of USC. Don't mind him because he was somebody that was like on the radar throughout the year. I don't think he lasts to us. Archie Gatling looks pretty good. I don't really want Sean Hubbard. Anthony Trent, Ross Wolf, maybe the point guard 1, and Johnny R. Bird. Definitely looks like the number 1 player in this draft. All right, so I'm going to have to attach a second rounder to get off Wendell Carter Jr., who has 1 year left. Next year, it's a team option. I'm going to trade him for Obi Toppin, so we're going to save around $3 million, and I kind of like Obi Toppin as a 10th man rather than trying to throw out Wendell Carter Jr., who hasn't worked. And in hindsight, I should have drafted Isaiah Hartenstein. So we get Obi Toppin from the Indiana Pacers. Johnny R. goes to the Pistons. So the last number 1 overall pick was Cade Cunningham out of OSU, and then they get the other OSU guy here. Austin Caver, a 5'11" point guard from St. Joe's. Shout out Rasheer Fleming, goes number 2. Does look intriguing. Damn, there goes Pat McGee to the Kings at number 3. I probably would have selected him. Number 4, the Boston Celtics are going to take Anthony Trent out of Tennessee. Looks like an intriguing young player for sure. And number 5, Archie Gatling goes to the Houston Rockets. That's who I wanted if he fell. So there is Drew O'Brien here. There's Kyle Warwick, who's projected to go so much later. But if I want the guy, I got to take him here. He's a 76 overall out of St. Bonaventure. Shout out Woj. He's got a B- offense, B- defense. I feel like there is some upside in him here. There is Ross Wolf, who was projected to go a little bit higher, but we do have Anthony Simons. We have Lyle Carter potentially to take here. I don't know if I should trade down. So you know what? I wanted rim protection. Let's go get some rim protection. I'm going to trade the 6th overall pick and Keon Ellis, which hurts, but I'm going to get a Vita Zubac. You got to give up something to get something. He's 30 years old. He can be a free agent next year, but we will have the cap space to re-sign him. We're also getting Malik Beasley in this deal, who was a great 3-point shooter last year. And the Clippers with this pick are going to take Drew O'Brien out of Florida. 76 overall, 22 years old. And in the second round, I also just said, let's grab our third string center, Allen Monroe. I guess Sims won't be the center going forward on the third string because we have Kornet behind Zubac, which is a really good center duo. So we have Monroe, probably better than Sims long term. So we got 3 centers next year already on paper. So we're going to decline the options on Houston, Tyler Kolek. 4.27 for Sims, yeah. We're going to decline that. And Iguodala has been out for so long now, so we are going to decline that as well. So we will extend the qualifying offers to Sensabaugh, Strawther, and Jalen Clark. I'm glad we got a really good rim protector this offseason. I'm not going to sign Nikola Jokic or anybody like that. I wouldn't mind bringing back Mo Gay on a 2-year deal. We'll definitely try to bring back all these guys with no issues. I do wonder if we try to push our chips forward for like one of these veteran 3s, even though I do kind of like Sensabaugh in a way where I don't feel like I want to go after one of those guys. Donovan Mitchell would be fun. I mean, is it stupid to really have all my eggs in the Anthony Simons basket just because of what his limitations are defensively? Probably. So we get Gay back. We're going to renounce the rights on Kolek, Iguodala, Sims, and then I'm going to look to just bring these 3 back. And you know what? If we don't take strides forward next year, then we'll think about moving on from some of our guys. So Sensabaugh, let's give him about $36 million over 3 years, fully guaranteed. Strawther, it'll be a little bit under that. And Clark, let's give him a 3-year deal, front loading. He's kind of more of just a reserve guy at this point. So we get Strawther, we get Sensabaugh, and we get Clark. So going into next year, we have 3 centers, plenty of power forwards with Obi Toppin on the roster. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Maybe I'll sign one more point guard, maybe a KJ Simpson, maybe I kind of like Marcus Sasser, but he wants the most money out of all these guys. So you know what? I'll go after KJ Simpson, 2-year deal, team option. We still have like 23 million remaining. And Zubac regresses a little bit, which is fine. Nadement goes up to an 81. Christie's is 79. Strawther's is 79. Obi Toppin's is 78. I wonder if he'll be on this team after the deadline. All right, so let's figure out how we want this rotation to look next year. It's definitely going to be Simon, Strawther, Sensabaugh. Actually, you know, I want Christie at the 2. We're going to have Ament and Zubac in the front court. Strawther can get 26. We're just going to go like 15 to Obi. Let's go 15 to Beasley. Let's go 18 to Jovic. That's fine with me. We'll do 25 Strawther, 32 to Zubac, 26 Ament. I want to go 30 to Sensabaugh. Let's do 28 to Christie, 33 to Simons, and then that's going to leave me about 18 minutes here for probably Luke Kornet off the bench. We'll do 16 to Kornet, and then I could do 2 more to Nikola Jovic. So under Nick Nurse, we are 3.5 star balanced. And opening night, we have a back-to-back. That's brutal to start off the year. We get blown out by Cleveland, but then we drop 134 on Memphis. I mean, giving up 126 and 131 does not make me believe that our defense is fixed. Then we give up 120. Not ideal. And then we lose while Malik Beasley gets hurt for 2 to 4 weeks. Great. And that's where Jalen Clark is going to come in. So, damn, we give up 120, 134. The defense is still so bad. 134. We give up, like, we score 133 and we win, but we're still giving up 120. We're giving up, like, almost 130 points every single night. Oh, my God. We give up 156 here to the Jazz. Anthony Simons is so good offensively. I feel like we may have to make a trade for, like, a Derek White, a Jalen Suggs, like a Cason Wallace, one of those elite point of attack guards at the 2 spot. Because, look at this, like, we've given up 147, 154, 110, and, like, are we ever going to hold a team sub 100 this year? I don't even think so. We haven't held a team under 110 yet. I mean, we're 6-13. That's not great. 20 games. Jeez. Okay. Through 21 games, we're 6-15. So we'll keep an eye on this. Christine, like Sensabaugh, like, I don't know. They've been good offensively. Maybe Nate Ament isn't good enough defensively to be a starting power forward. And we lose Obi Toppin for 4 to 6 weeks with a severe right ankle sprain. All right, so we're 15 games under 500. We're 18-33. Just, do I say screw it and buy? And just be like, you know what? We don't want to be one of the worst teams in the conference again. I mean, we got to convince Zubac to stay, who's having a very good offensive year. 14 points, almost a career high. We don't need this to happen. We need to convince him to stay at the end of the year, or I should trade him right now. Obi on the minimum is actually kind of valuable, but I don't think I'm going to trade. Oh, well, I actually maybe should trade Obi because he's making $16 million a year. All right, so Shea just won NBA Cup MVP as we are here in March. 18 games under 500, 27-45. Yeah, we're not making the playoffs this year. Maybe 2K will give me some luck in the lottery just because the first 2 years we've just been super unlucky. Not really sure that's going to happen. I mean, we have a potential disaster this offseason. Zubac is just not happy with the lack of winning here. I mean, has the defense by the metrics looked any better this year? Well, we do have the second worst point differential here. We still have the worst defense in the NBA. So, yeah, not even Zubac can help this team. And I traded the 6th overall pick for Zubac as well. So it's really going to hurt if we I don't know, can't re-sign him somehow in the offseason. We end up going 31 and 51. Wemby takes home MVP this year, averaging 26, 12, and 4. Johnny R. Bird, the #1 overall pick to the Pistons. Him and Cade Cunningham, the OSU connection's pretty sick. He wins Rookie of the Year. Giddey, 6-man. Wemby Depoy, Asa Newell, Most Improved. Giannis signed with Washington and won Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd is your coach of the year. Jokic signed with Portland. Oh my God, that is okay. Well, he stays in the West. Giannis stayed in the East. Here's All-NBA second team. You have Evan Mobley and Cooper Flagg on it. Here's All-NBA third team with Alperen Şengün on it as well. No shockers on all defensive first team. All defensive second team. You have Jalen Duren on the Tampa Bay Sharks. You have J-Dub. You have Claw Ware, Bam, and Giannis. Here's all rookie first team. Drew O'Brien actually had a pretty good season. He's 23 years old, though. There's Pat McGee. There's Elijah Arenas. Kyle Warwick was also on all-rookie second team. So, yeah, another year. No playing tournament appearances. We did lose Anthony Simons at the end of the year. Sensabaugh missed about 16 games last year. I say we just try to keep getting aggressive. I don't want to trade, like, every first-round pick I know. But like I said, if I can land a Case and Wallace, like just an elite point-of-attack defender, I don't mind that at all. Trae Young and Cooper Flagg are your conference finals MVPs. Let's see who wins the 2029 finals, 2028. It's going to be the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. So Ant won it last year, right? Who won it in year one again? Oh, the Tampa Bay Sharks. So we have the Sharks, the Wolves, and the Hawks all win it. So if that gets to 0, do I get fired? I don't know. I've never been like really, really bad and disappointing. Jeez, this is not good. This is not good at all. I don't know. Actually, I could kind of bump these up a little bit. Jeez, our owner hates us. So Paul George retires. Yusuf Nurkic retires, both on the Sharks. Kawhi, Beal, Vucevic, Tobias Harris. A couple 2011 guys end up retiring. Van Vliet retires in D.C. Caruso in Toronto. There goes Doc Rivers. He retires. Kawhi and Paul George, once former teammates in Los Angeles, go to the Hall of Fame together. Paul George is not going to jersey retired by any team, which probably is going to happen, right? So we are projected the 11th pick. Excuse me? Wait, what? I thought we were really bad. We actually ended up going 31 and 51, which is better than I thought. Oh my God, the East was so bad. We actually would have made the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference. That is ridiculous. I went 31 and 51 to get the 11th overall pick. As Tampa Bay, you know, they get a title in this video. They get the 2nd overall pick. They are the golden child to 2K. They're like the favorite child while we're just getting pushed to the side every single year. The 11th overall pick is fairly brutal. I'm going to keep Nick Nurse still as my head coach, but there's a chance this could be the last year if we don't do much, but I'd like to stay aggressive. So Otis Stevens looks pretty good. #1 overall pick. I don't think I have the ammo to go from 11 to 1. I don't know. Yeah, if I want to start think about moving one of these guys. Like, Jovic is a pretty solid backup power forward. And we are on the clock at 11. #1 actually did not end up being Stevens. Wow. I should have traded up. That is silly by me. Marcus Atkins goes #2. I mean, Detroit, they have Bird. They're going to have Stevens now with Cade Cunningham. We're on the clock here at 11. And I like Jamie Hamilton. Yeah, I'm going to call him Jamie, not Hami. Jamie Hamilton from Iowa, a 6'6" wing, is going to be our selection here. And we do not own a second rounder. So Hamilton is a 75 overall at the age of 20. We're going to pick up immense team option. Same with the Jovic. We're going to decline Cornette. I'm going to pick up Monroe, decline KJ Simpson as well. I mean, we are going to have some cap space if I wanted to go out and try to sign Luka Doncic. Ja Morant would be electric. And he doesn't have a real offer. Oh, man, I should really give Ja Morant a deal. Do I have the money? I do. All right, let me offer Ja Morant a max deal. Can he be the superstar here? In Seattle, there's AD, there's Zion Williamson, Siakam, solid talent that hit the unrestricted free agent market. So if we get Ja, do I trade Anthony Simons, who's just been nothing but a bucket getter for us on good efficiency so far? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm also going to get Cornette on the minimum. And then Zubac, I would still like to bring back as well. But if we get Ja, which we do, we would have to trade away, I believe, Anthony Simons if we wanted to get back Zubac. Not going to trade Anthony Simons for Jamal Murray, but he put up 28.7 points last year. That's kind of insane. You know what? I think we're going to move on from Zubac. It sucks, but we're going to just do that right now. I want to confirm I'm getting Ja Morant. Now, did Zubac sign with anybody? He has not signed with anybody. Will 2K still allow me to sign him? They will. So what we may do is, let's see. Let me bring back Zubac before I think about making a trade, because I did have a good offer on the table. Wow, so you actually, they removed that where you can't sign anybody from the player finder. This is how you got around the player not wanting to come back. Okay, I mean, you know what? I should be happy that they did that, right? Where you can kind of cheap out there and sign them. Maybe there's another way that you could pull it off, but that does hurt that Zubats does not come back. So I'm also going to pull the trigger on this blockbuster trade as well. We are trying to put Seattle back on the map. I said I didn't want to cut corners and just be too aggressive, but this is a good offer for us. We're trying to build maybe the Memphis Grizzlies in Seattle, which I don't know if that's the best idea, but you have basically Ja Morant, and not Jaren Jackson Jr., but Ja Morant and Chet Holmgren. We need defense, so I'm going to trade away Anthony Simons. Sucks to trade him away, but we got Ja Morant, Nate Ament, and Nikola Jovic for Chet Holmgren. Welcome here to Seattle, Chet. I'm also going to be bringing back Keon Ellis on a 2... Just kidding, he signed with Washington. I was going to try to bring him here to be my backup point guard, so let's snag Ryan Rollins instead. And let's just sign a third-string center. Let's get a Dem Bona here on the market. So yeah, our center rotation next year is going to look really bad on paper. Bona, Monroe, and Cornette. As Luka actually goes to the Kings, a team that should have drafted him number 2 overall. So player progression, we have Ja at a 92. We have Chet at a 90. We have the role players and the wings around him. You know what? We'll see. I mean, there's a chance I could just throw Chet at the 5. I kind of like him at the 4 because of the floor spacing ability. We'll see how we operate this year. All right, so it's going to be Ja, I think Christie, Strother off the bench. Obviously Chet will be getting a ton of playing time with Ja, and then we'll go Cornette at the 5. Ryan Rollins definitely as a backup. We'll give Jamie Hamilton some minutes this year, and then D'Anthony Melton, who I signed. No, I want to get Monroe in there, and probably Jalen Clark as well. Hopefully 2K can appreciate the defense from some of these guys off the bench, because I feel like we have some really good defenders off the bench. Let's go 30 to these guys. And we can go like 28 to Cornette. I did not think I was going to be relying this much on Luke Cornette today. We're up to 4-star balanced. Hopefully we could just like optimize Ja and Chet to their fullest potential. Let's get Ja's touch tendency up. Let's get Chet's shot tendency up for sure. Like we can get him where he's like going to be the main focus point of like the inside presence and be like the number 2 scoring option on this team. Like Alan Monroe is going to play more this year for the first time in his career. Do we finally have like a good defensive team? Let's see. We give up 124 points. We do win, but like, I'm just so, like, I don't know, discouraged by the defense. I don't know what it's been. I mean, we don't have Simons anymore. Like, I like to think that Strother and Sensabaugh and Christie are solid enough defenders, and we get off to a good start this year. Like, we're 4-2. Ja is averaging 31 and 11. Like, I appreciate so much what Anthony Simons did for us, but Ja can do it on a whole nother level. All right, so Cornette got hurt and recently came back, but we're 23 and 23 this year, so we have been better, which is nice because I have a lot of money invested into Chet Holmgren and Ja Morant now, and the Thunder are still really good without Chet. That's why they made that trade, and we have... Well, Chet, I was going to say, is he from, like, Washington? No, he went to Gonzaga, but no, he's from Minnesota. Does it say in 2K where they're from? At least not in that player profile. Ja's having, like, an MVP caliber year. I like the role players around them, and I honestly trust Luke Cornette as my starting center. Maybe we can go on a little bit of a run with some momentum into the All-Star break. That's not going to help as Max Christie breaks his ankle, so he's going to be out for at least the next few weeks. And we're here at the trade deadline. Yeah, so Christie's like the only guy that's hurt. Now, if I was going to look at my contract extensions, Christie's the only guy we could re-sign. Let's get in front of that, sure. Let's lock him up. We're fine with Christie going forward. Do we want to try to upgrade the Luke Cornette spot? I don't know. I kind of trust Luke Cornette as my center, as crazy as that sounds, but I do think he's fine. Alan Monroe, I don't really trust, so I could go to a Dem Bona in the second half. I mean, yeah, I guess I'd like for Cornette to be the backup because he's a really good backup. And Jamie Hamilton's actually shooting 45% from 3 as a rookie. Jalen Clark has been fine enough offensively, and Ryan Rollins has also been fine enough offensively because we know they're going to provide value defensively. So once again, I don't think I'm going to make any trades at the deadline. I'm going to hope that this team can just kind of ride the internal development and the momentum into the second half of the year. We're no longer the worst defensive team in the West. I guess that's not the Nuggets. So we're like the 4th best or 4th worst defensive team in the NBA. Better than the previous few years. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins NBA Cup MVP this year. We didn't really go on a run in the second half. We are going to have a better record than last year, though. Last year, we won 31 games. This year, we're at 33. I still think the Western Conference is too competitive for us to get a play-in tournament spot, which is kind of frustrating when you're paying about $100 million for, like, Ja, Chet, and some others. We end up going... Let's see. We have 3 games left. We're 38 and 42. We're going to end up going 39 and 43. So, our morale's at a 0. I don't know if this is going to make me get fired. Otis Stevens Rookie of the year. I should have traded up for him. I really should have. Josh Giddey wins 6th man of the year every year. C-Dub, who I probably should have drafted instead of Needham back in year 1, most improved. And that's why they thought it was okay to trade Chet Holmgren, just because he's a lot cheaper. Maybe just as good. Luka, clutch player of the year in Sacramento. Ja Morant, all NBA first team. I signed a top 5 player in the league, and I still couldn't even make the play-in tournament. I don't know what to do, man. I don't. Wow, Johnny R. Bird, all NBA third team in year number 2. Dash Daniels, hello. Yeah, way better than his brother. Wow, I had 2 all NBA guys. Chet averaged 24 and 10, like career highs across the board, and he was a top 5 defender in the sport. Damn, I made like a crazy trade. Alex Sarr and Giannis in the front court is actually amazing. Here's our rookie first team. Marcus Atkins is there. Did we get Jamie? Wow, no, we didn't even get Jamie Hamilton on any of these. That's pretty frustrating. So we don't make the play-in. Did Tampa Bay make the play-in? They did as a 9th seed. And we could have honestly had a better record than them. So we go 39 and 43, 13th seed. Yeah, 39 and 43 would have gotten me the freaking 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, and instead I was the 13th seed. So we're going to have, like, once again, the 11th overall pick after being competitive once again. Can I somehow get us transferred to the Eastern Conference? It would have been nice to be an Eastern Conference expansion team rather than the West. Cooper Flagg dropped 33 points in the conference finals, and Jalen Johnson is also conference finals MVP. So a rematch of last year. Atlanta won last year, Atlanta wins this year, and Trae Young, who stayed in Atlanta, did not leave in the 2026 free agency class, just got back-to-back finals MVP. So I think he made the right decision staying there. We're currently at a 0 morale. I don't think you can get fired because this isn't like my GM, but I'm sure he wants to fire me right now because, yeah, with this team and how expensive it kind of has been, we should be at least playing in the playoffs as Draymond Green gets his jersey retired by the Warriors. Now, this can all change. Can we get the number 1 overall pick? Damn, man. Projected the 12th pick. That hurts so much. Wow, Tampa Bay. Why can't I have your luck? Why can't I have it? They end up moving up to number 3. We stay at number 12. 13th seed to get the 12th pick. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm not going to fire Nick Nurse. I just don't think there's any better options out there. So, do I make a trade? Like, do I say the Christie, Strother, Sensabaugh trio has just reached its peak? Remember that Ben Shepherd trade I made back in the first offseason? We're getting the 17th overall pick from that this year. So we have 17, 12, and 14 in the second round. All right, so the number 1 overall pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Joseph Sampson from Xavier. Looks pretty good. 18 years old, coming out of Ohio. Cameron Vaughn, 6'3" point guard, goes to the Kings. Now, that's somebody that should have went a little bit. He probably should have went number 1 overall, but the Kings need him like they have Luka Doncic. Kirk Green from BYU ends up going number 3 to the Sharks. And then number 4, Will Blackman from Penn State goes to Chicago. So I took some forwards with my 2 draft picks. The first one was Oliver McDaniel. He's a power forward, 6'10" at 19 years old from Northwestern. I took Al Bradley here, a 6'7" wing from USF. And then we have Eric Sanders from Utah in the second round. We're going to sign all 3 of those guys. We don't have any team player options. Jason Tatum's a free agent. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe I shouldn't have signed Ja Morant. I should have waited to sign Jason Tatum. That would have been kind of sweet. Yeah, we don't obviously have enough for him. Now, we will have a little bit to spend. Could I somehow, I can get like Trey Murphy, Con Murray Boyles. I need a center. There's Walker Kessler. There's Thomas Sorber. Kessler, I got to probably break the bank for. I need that defense. Let's give him the full mid-level. I can't give you a no-trade clause, but I'll give you a player option. Bang, there we go. So we're going to renounce the rights on Alan Monroe. I definitely want to bring back Luke Cornett, and maybe even Mo Gay if I can. All right, that is a huge addition. Walker Kessler and Chet Holmgren in your front court is kind of electric, I can't lie. And we do have bird rights on both these guys, so let's bring them back. Mo Gay and Luke Cornett. I think we finally have built a very good defensive front court. I'll probably sign another center. So looking at the team, you have John Rollins, Strother Christie, Sensabaugh Hamilton. We have Chet McDaniel, Kessler, Cornett. I don't need another center. And I'm going to sign John Tonje on a 1-year deal. Kessler could do some recruiting. And we'll bring back an old face by the name, or an old friend, in Ben Shepherd. So did Jason Tatum leave? He signed with Denver, so he's replacing Nikola Jokic over there. Surprised he didn't want to follow the Kobe route and go to the Lakers. LaMelo Ball replaces Tatum in Boston. How about that? All right, so you have Ja, Chet, Walker Kessler, Strother, Christie, Sensabaugh. All right, we'll see how this team goes. I think I'm just so attached to this trio of wings of Sensabaugh, Christie, and Strother, and I really shouldn't be attached too much. Those are obviously, I guess, technically homegrown guys from the expansion draft. It sucks Anthony Simons isn't here, but like Ja is on another level. Simons was never going to be an All-NBA first-team guy like Ja was this year. So I do need to release somebody before the season starts. I think it's going to be Ben Shepherd. I'm sorry, Ben. So you're going to be gone. I'm going to keep all my centers on the roster. So Anthony Davis is going to retire at the end of the year. We have Ja, Strother, Sensabaugh, Chet, and Kessler. We have Christie coming off the bench. Ryan Rollins as well. We're going to have Hamilton come off the bench. Tanjay, probably not. He's just kind of a depth piece. Cornette's going to be the backup center. And then I would like to give minutes to Otis McDaniel, or Oliver McDaniel, about 12 minutes a night. So I want to go about 32 to Kessler, and then we can go about one more to John Moran. He can play 37 minutes a night. Sure. 4.5-star balanced. Oh, man. Can that please get me into the playoffs for once? All right, so we end up going 23 and 26 in the first half. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I feel like 2K is just hating expansion teams. Like, this team should be so much better than 3 games under 500 right now. I really don't get it. Is the defense just that bad? Like, offensively, we're number 2. Yeah, I guess the defense is just that bad. We're a bottom 5 defense. Who is that bad defensively? I don't get it. Like, the perimeter defense, Christie's an A. Strother's an A-. I guess it's Sensabaugh. That's a C. Oh, man, maybe I should trade Bryce Sensabaugh. Even though he's so good, he's shooting 45% from 3. All right, I really hate to do this, but we don't really need much offense. I'm going to sacrifice Bryce Sensabaugh, Jamie Hamilton. I want to see if I can do 1 first-round pick to get Jalen Suggs to put him in that backcourt with John Morant, one of the best point-of-attack, perimeter defenders, lockdown guard defenders in the NBA, and he's shooting 40% from 3 this season. 1 year left on the deal, and I think with 2K's like updated contract sliders, the next contract should be a little bit cheaper than $26 million annually, and they agreed to that, so I didn't have to give up 2 first-round picks, so like go all in here at the deadline. In like some way, shape, or form, John Morant, Jalen Suggs, Julian Strother, Chet Holmgren, Walker Kessler, like this is a very good defensive lineup, something we've had an issue with throughout this whole expansion rebuild. And DeJounte Murray this year wins the NBA Cup MVP award. We are struggling to be a playoff team, which I don't get. Does 2K have a curse on these expansion rebuilds? This roster is really good. I do think we're going to end the season above 500, which should put us in the play-in tournament, but we're about to find out. Maybe my controller is going to die by the time this happens, so maybe we're never going to see if we're in the play-in tournament or not. We are 37 and 37. I really don't get it. We just beat the Sharks by 24. Nice, but the Sharks have kind of taken a nosedive since they won the finals. We beat them here. Nope, we don't. Okay, so I was going to say our next win will, there we go, make us go above 500. We're going to go 43 and 39 this year. Caleb Wilson, C-Dub, won MVP, so they're looking smarter and smarter by the day by sending us Chet Holmgren and letting him shine. Maybe better than Ja. Cameron Vaughn, who should have went number 1. Wow. Stud to the Kings there too. They made the right decision. Giddey, 6th man of the year again. Mobley, Depoy, not. Chet. Fred Hammond's most improved. He was a recent top pick. And Cade Cunningham got clutch player of the year. So they have Shea and C-Dub on All-NBA first team. I kind of like the name C-Dub, but it's obviously not like that original. Jason Tatum, All-NBA first team on the Denver Nuggets. You got Luka, All-NBA second team on the Kings. We have 2 top 10 players, Chet and John Morant, and we still can't win like 50 games. I don't get it. There's All-NBA third team, all defensive first team. 2 guys. Like, this is the best defensive front court in the league. Chet Holmgren and Walker Kessler. I don't know how our defensive metrics are not better. Is the bench that bad? Maybe. And we're the 9th seed, which is so embarrassing. Maybe, I don't know. Like, we finished with a 4.3 point differential. Like, that's top 5. That's number 4 in the Western Conference. I just can't get a good seeding to save my life. So we're going to figure out what we're going to do here. Unless this team makes it to the conference finals, this is 100% Nick Nurse's last year coaching this roster. I really can't with him anymore. I also didn't mention when I traded for him, Suggs and Holmgren, the pride of Minnesota, they were teammates together in high school, and Gonzaga. So it is cool to have them together here. I don't really want to play John Tanjay. Actually, maybe down the stretch. We'll see. 12 minutes a night to him. Do I want to play Oliver McDaniel? Probably not, because I should have more of a traditional backup big, which is going to be Luke Kornet in there. So we're going to go about 12 minutes to Kornet, 12 to Tanjay, 15 to Rollins is fine. We can go 27 to Strother, maybe even less. 25 to Strother, 33 to Kessler, 37 to Chet. Let's go 40 to Ja, and we can do the rest to Max Christie and Jalen Suggs. So system proficiency, 4.5 stars. This team should be so much better than a 9 seed. We're taking on Jalen Lowe. Shout out Pittsburgh's Jalen Lowe. They have Denny Avdia, our old buddy Zubats. What did he get from them? They have Brandon Miller there as well. Did he get like a long-term deal? Yeah, he got about $60 million per year. Are we able to beat them? in advance of the second leg of the play. And we lose this, we're out of the playoffs completely, which is, yeah, going to be a bittersweet ending to this, like, successful season, record-wise, metrics-wise. But luckily for us, or thankfully, we do blow them out by 32 points. Ja has 43 and 14, Chet with 26 and 16, and we're taking on Dallas here. So they have Jared McCain, Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flag. They reunite here, or now they never played together, but two Duke guys, Shaden Quainance, Nick Richards, Miles McBride, AD at 77 overall. He's regressing. Are we able to pull off, I would think, an upset? Because the Mavericks have been in the finals the last 2 years. And can we make it to the playoffs as an 8 seed? We couldn't score in the first half to save our lives. We are going to end up losing this most likely unless we have a crazy fourth quarter comeback. Oh my God, we actually did. Holy shit, please pull it off. Oh my God, we outscored them 45-24. Sorry for cursing, but that is crazy. 45-24 there in the fourth. Suggs drops 25, 24 for Ja, 21 and 13 for Holmgren, 15 and 19 for Kessler, and we're in the playoffs. So we're taking on OKC, Chet's old team. Oh yeah, they have Anthony Simons. And you have the Sonics who became the Thunder. So a little bit of bad blood there. 23. Yeah, like Simons has been a bucket for them for sure. C-Dub, J-Dub. They have Sean Hubbard, who was drafted 12th overall. Nate Ament has developed into a fine player over there. All right, so we'll see if we can pull off the upset here in round number 1. Let's actually, before this, let me do the rotation. Sorry. So, actually, no, we're good with that rotation. Let's do this. Game 1, we are going to win 143-110. All right, Nick Nurse is coaching for his job right now. I don't know why Luke Cornett only played... I assume he got hurt. Is that why? Yep, he ended up spraining his right knee, so he's out 1 to 2 weeks. So we are probably going to get in maybe Otis McDaniel as the backup big. I think I trust the upside there than Mo Gay. So game number 2, Chet is fully healthy, and we win. C-Dub at 34. We dropped 159, so our defense is abysmal. But we dropped 159 on them. Chet with 53 and 13. Ja with 30 and 15. Free Chet Holmgren. We dropped 154 on them in game 3. 30 for Chet. 40 combined between Strother and Suggs. You know what I'd even mention? I think, well, Strother played, 2 years at Gonzaga? 2022 and 2023. So he would have played with Chet, but not with Suggs. Well, Chet and Suggs also never played with each other at Gonzaga, right? So they win game 4, we win game 5, and we just gentlemen swept the 1 seed. Ja with 37, Chet with 19 rebounds. The 8-seeded Supersonics, potential team of destiny, we'll see. So McDaniel actually was pretty good. You know what? Let's play him over Cornette. Why not? It's just not that many minutes. So we're taking on the 4-seeded Pelicans, who have the NBA Cup MVP in DeJounte Murray. They have Grady Dick, Vassell, Keyshawn George, Richie Vincent. I assume Zion is no longer there. Derek Queen is injured, it looks like. They have Lachlan Obrick as well. I mean, I don't want to get cocky and get ahead of myself, but this team doesn't feel as strong, as intimidating as the OKC Thunder. As we win the first 2 games, we win 135-132 here. 33 for Ja, 31 for Chet. And Suggs is going to be out 1 to 2 weeks. That is absolutely brutal stuff. So let's get Strother into the lineup. We'll probably play Ryan Rollins. We'll probably play John Tonje a little bit more. I don't even know who I trust the most. I guess it's going to be Jalen Clark. So hopefully we can still win without Suggs. We do lose game 3 by 2 points. Suggs plays, I don't know, 17 rebounds and 5 blocks for Kessler's amazing. We win game 4, 154-113. 55 combined between Ja and Chet. Game 5, we end up winning. So we advance to the conference finals as a 9th seed playing team. Suggs is out for still 1 to 2 weeks. We're taking on the Sacramento Kings, who we know have Luka Doncic. They have that point guard. Shea, damn, hyperextended his shoulder. I don't know if he actually missed significant time in that series. They're going to be without Byron Holmes. So this is a team that has Luka Doncic, Nikola Topic. Damn, I wanted Pat McGee in the draft, and they've developed him to being a pretty solid player so far. So Cameron Vaughn is coming off the bench. They have Jamario Meyer, who went number 1 in 2028, when it probably should have been Stephens, who ended up in Detroit. So they've been picking high like every single year. I'm jealous of them. They win game 1, 101-93, 17 for Ja. Game 2, Strother breaks his nose, but he can play through it, and we win game 2. If we went down 2-0, I would have thought that was the series. 14 assists there for Ja Morant. Game 3, Suggs is back. Let's go. All right, let's just throw Suggs in there. Jalen Clark, who actually stepped up. Let's go. He actually was amazing. Probably should play him more, but I'm not going to. Let's get Strother about 22 minutes a night. All right, game number 3. Can we win this one? No, we end up going down 2 to... Oh, my God. We lost 136, 133. Brutal. 20 rebounds for Kessler. Game 4. We tied up 152, 122. Come on, if we could beat the Thunder, we could beat the Kings. They go up 3-2. They won by 32. Nikola Topic dropping 26. Can we force a game 7? We've been going back and forth all series long. First quarter was fine. Fine, whatever. I mean, a lot of these games have been close. It looks like game 4 is going to be close, but we are going to prevail. Our offense dropped 45 points in the fourth quarter. We beat them by 15. Ja with 45. Here we go. We've been going back and forth, so if the trend continues, we're screwed. But if the trend breaks here, we're going to the NBA Finals as a 9th seed. So down by 1. Looks like this is set up to be another close one. But the back and forth trend looks like it's going to happen. We've been going back and forth all series long. We're down by 6. We're making a little bit of a late run. Can we take the lead? Oh my God. Shades of that play-in game against Dallas. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. We're not going to hold on to this. And this is going to be a gut-wrenching defeat. Oh my God. We're up by 6 with 36 seconds left. We are going to win 117-113. We outscore them 44-32 in the fourth quarter. Chet Holmgren is him. This man just gets conference finals MVP. 25-11. 4.4 stocks a night. And we're taking on the Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs, his old team. So this is going to be, I guess, a win-win trade on paper. They have Sensabaugh. Who else did I give them? Hamilton. And they also got a first-round pick out of it. So clearly this trade has worked out for both teams. They're allowing, I guess, Jasper Johnson into the starting lineup, which is something they've been trying to do. And he's taking advantage of those opportunities. It's a good team. Paolo and Franz is going to be a tough matchup for us. I don't love our... Oh, that is a statement win and a half. I don't love our wings defense to start things off here. So what I want is also Ja to play 40 minutes a night. So we're going to go about like 8 minutes to Ryan Rollins here. So let's do that. Tonje can get 18. We'll go a little bit more to Strother. I want Kessler getting 35 a night. Game 2, please don't lose this one. Okay, huge win. 27 for Chet. Game 3. There goes Jalen Suggs. God damn it, man. Somebody had to get hurt, of course. So we're going to have to play Strother with the broken nose. Tonje's going to get more minutes. I mean, I don't think the series is over, but like, of course I couldn't be at full strength. So let's go 16 to Clark. Let's go about 23 to Tonje, who's shot the ball well in the playoffs. Let's go about 30 to Strother, 34 to Christie. Strother's actually been pretty good. So we'll go 34 to him. We'll go 38 to Chet. How does game 3 look? We win. All right, with no Suggs, 144, 132, 73 combined between Ja and Chet. We take a 3-1 lead. Okay. If I blow this 3-1 lead, I will cry. Game 5, please. Strother fully healthy. We lose this one. This is the game right here, because if we go to a game 7, I think we're screwed. Please win game 6. Let's go! Let's go! The Seattle Supersonics as a 9th seed. I just said Nick Nurse was going to get fired. Ja drops 30 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, finals MVP. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! What a run! What a run. So we beat Golden State. We blow them out in the first leg. And then we had that amazing fourth quarter comeback against Dallas. And then we beat OKC in 5. Beat New Orleans in 5. We're going back and forth. We're down 3-2 against Sacramento. Bang. We win game 7 by 4 points after a 44-point fourth quarter. We lose Jalen Suggs in the NBA Finals. And we win in 6. Let's freaking go, man. Ja Morant could have gone... Well... Ja Morant did get finals MVP. Definitely could have been Chet Holmgren as well. But 2030, the boys got it done. And I hope you guys did enjoy my first expansion rebuild here on NBA 2K26. If you did, appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. We're going to have longer rebuilds coming out soon. Definitely want to do my first expansion rebuild when those rosters get set. Or excuse me, my first historic rebuild. Gonna have a franchise episode 1 series. Probably not out in the next few days, but maybe next weekend if I can put it all together. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.